Welcome to my video. I'm going to be doing this at double time speed. Thought I'd give it a different try. Another special effect, I guess you could say. And what I'm going to be doing is, again, a dolphin goblet, which is a pretty nice looking thing once it's all said and done. What I'm doing now is taking turbo cobalt from North Star and layering it over clear. And what this does is sort of stretch the price of the color down a little bit, so that and also gives you a nice cobalt color instead of a dark blue, as it were. And now I'm going to layer clear over this because I can. That again stretches the color even further, but also gives you a nice glossy shine. Well, cobalt is a nice glossy shine anyway, but this gives you a nice glossy shine as it is. And again, I go all the way around, layering it in clear. This is about a 10 mil rod that I'm using that's clear, and then just layering the turbo cobalt over that, and then another 10 mil rod that I'm layering over the turbo. Now I'm twisting it, and what this does is gives it its own unique color contrast and swirls going on that can't be reproduced exactly that same way again. Yes, you can do that over and over, but each time you do it, it comes out a little different. Now I'm basically shaping the dolphin for the stem of the goblet. Now you don't have to do these in the same size that I do them. I would recommend that you try making these things a little smaller to begin with, for one reason: you're not wasting as much gas or glass, and you can gain control over doing them smaller. It's like making a cupcake compared to a cake. It takes a little less time, and you could be done a little faster. And once you've got the logistics down, then you can go bigger. I recommend that. Again, you're not wasting much glass, gas, and time, and you'll learn a little bit faster. Now, once you get the idea of the fold and pull that I'm doing right now, which is a pull and fold, and it takes a lot of where you just, instead of putting a blob on, pinching it, and then shaping it, you're doing two-fold that much faster. Now the eyes, again, make sure you put them across from each other on the body. You don't want one a little bit forward and one a little bit back. It takes practice. No, by the way, practice! Now I'm going to work on the back end of this guy. That was a cold seal that I put on his nose to hold on to him by. Works out really well. This, again, that fold and pull. It almost looks like I'm working with soft glass with this double time speed going on. I wish I could make them that fast. But again, this is just to give you the idea of what's going on in the creation itself. Now I'm going to add some clear just above the tail. Actually, I'll bend the tail a little bit more. And then I'm going to add clear just above the tail in the body for where it will be attaching to the pedestal. And then on the other hand, I can go ahead and now I will add at the top where it's going to be added to the goblet. There we go. And we're doing pretty good, I think. And now I put that in the oven while I work on this part is going to be the pedestal itself. There's a bubble just about 1/4 of an inch to an inch inside there, and you'll see it, and it ticked me off a little bit, so I decided to blow it out. Actually, I blew it inward, and it didn't actually make a hole in the tubing, but it did leave a mark, and that's why I twisted the glass a little bit more. You see it there. I tried to, and it looked like a little spot. There it is. You saw that? But it didn't pop. It sort of popped inward to the inner surface, not the outer surface. Now I'm trying to even out the wall of the tubing, and this tubing is the cobalt tubing that I made from scratch in a video just recently, and I can put you the URL to that down below in the description. Don't forget, guys, to click like, subscribe, and so on and so forth. And click the bell if you want to be notified when I do a new video. Also, if you have any comments or questions, don't forget to add them down below. And I do try to comment on or reply to any video question that people have about my work. Now I'm going to switch hands here, and there's that little bit of tab where I blew it out, and now I'm going to heat it all up and try to get the rim a lot more even. And now I'm just taking a graphite rod and reaming it and flaring it out for the pedestal itself. In just a second, I'm going to bring into view a, there it is. It's like a graphite that I can flatten it to make sure that it's going to be a flat, stable surface for the bottom of the pedestal. And now I've got grippers on there so that you can, and I'm now going to add this to the dolphin. Here we go. Getting on the same temp, putting them together. Taking its time. I'm doing that for support, so now I can smooth out where I put the two of them together. And that's the critical spot. You don't want it to have wrinkles or creases or a little bit warped. You want it to look nice. And now we're going to be working it's my OCD working, making sure that the wrinkles are out of it and stuff like that. Now tell me if you like this wider angle on this piece or this video. Now I'm sort of flaming it out, and a lot of it, as I flame it out and warm it up, make sure it's all nice and evenly heated, I'm doing it somewhat outside of the flame. I mean outside the video. That reaching a little bit further out, that bushy flame is all you need to really warm it, to make sure it's all nice and even. You don't have to have it right up next to the, actual melting flame to do this. And now I'm going to start working on the goblet itself, or the goblet part of this. I'm using the same tubing that I did for the pedestal. That way you're getting a consistent color variation, because each one of these tubings that you do from scratch has its own little unique qualities of color and color variations. And using the same tubing for top and bottom, you would get pretty close results, as it were. Now I'm just attaching it to where it's going to be put to the stem. And now I'm going to work on the top. And when you're doing or blowing tubing like this, you're trying to get it an even wall all the way around, and getting it a nice thickness and a nice consistency, and getting it the basic shape that you really want before you... Now what I'm going to do is I'm sharpening up the flame a little bit, and this is where I'm going to pull off the top, and you pull it really thin and then blow it out. And that way when you melt in the top rim to the goblet itself, and I just switched hands, it will become even consistency and thickness. And then all you got to do is just sort of ream it like that with a graphite rod, and flare it out to the size that you want it. And I also am going to put it to the to make sure it's an even flatness on the top. And yes, mine goblets have a little bit of rusticness to it, but I like that quality of it, showing that it is handmade. And I made it. Good thing I have another set of those grippers. And I'm going to pull it off there. Now add that to the whole piece. Timing is everything. I still have to make sure things are right all the way around. I'm smoothing out where I flared it out a little bit. There was a little bit of, I guess, vitrification going on. That's what I'm doing right now around that edge. But it's a nice size thickness all the way around, and doing really well if you ask me. And now it's a matter of smoothing out where I attached the two so there's no wrinkles. And what I'm doing now again is warming the whole thing out. And I'm sorry it's a little out of view, but I can't see the camera angle all the time. So you're getting a bird's eye view closer than I am, or fly on the wall, I guess you could say. Now I'm just smoothing things out without getting it, you know, flumpy, I guess the word is. And now we're done. And I warm it out a little bit, and then I go ahead and pull the torch out of the way so that you can see it from top to bottom. And thanks for watching. As always, carpe vitro. And enjoy your day.